normal arrhythmia is an unusual. It's where you have tachycardia or ventricular tachycardia, stuff like that. The same way you are looking at rhythmic walking patterns. You are looking at your trunk and limbs, how they work in tandem to have your walking going. This is a normal gait that you are looking at. Things that you calculate on this is stride length. As you can see, the stride length is between one leg. This is your stride length. Then you have step length, walking pace. Then cadence is number of steps per minute, and velocity. These are the things that are calculated on a gait cycle definitions that you're looking at. Some of the parameters. Okay. Now there are companies which make from a simple sensor-based gait analysis systems to a very complex one. We will be showing this towards the end. This is a company which makes wearable sensors to get balance and gait. This is a new gold standard for physical activity monitoring. They have innovated this. They also have a patent on their gait sensors. This is basically used in sports medicine, physical therapy, rehabilitation, diabetic care, orthopedics, and elderly care. This is where it is used. Okay. What you do here is you need to wear these two in the shin and you walk. This uses 3-axis accelerometer and it weighs only 30 grams each, and you can ask the patient to walk on any surface you want. And it gives you it communicates to the PC through Bluetooth, and it gives you gait parameters instantaneously. So it can work up to 4 hours. It runs on battery, and then you can charge it through a USB. The parameters that it can give you is stride length, what we discussed earlier, stride, step duration, speed, cadence, and stride to stride. And it can also give you your swing and stance percent. The last one, which is called double support percentage, means when both the legs are on the ground. That is the double support time that it calculates. So because your leg is going up, that's a single support. When you have both the legs on the ground, it is called double support. So that is what it measures basically. Okay. And this can also be it can be also interfaced to Android application, and you can see this on Android phones too. This is the simplest of gait what you saw. The next system that we are going to talk about gait is another system which uses a carpet. This is walkway. The walkway length is anything between 14 feet and can extend up to 21 feet also. So this is an electronic carpet which has 48 sensors, ink cell sensors by 384 sensors. Totally there are 14,000 sensors built into this carpet. And all these, what you see on the left side is how the data gets collected and it goes through a USB door. The thing about this carpet is it can be used, it can be transported, like you can take it to corporate office where you find most of them used to sitting in front of computer and not used to walking, and they do have walking problems. So it can be taken to corporates, it can be taken on camps, and you can quickly unroll the carpet and then start doing gait, and you can just walk from one side to the other side and it instantaneously gives you a the analysis that it gives you a lot more than sensor-based systems. It can also give you the thing it can also give you is your toe in and toe out. What it means is how much of your toe was in terms of degree and how much of your toe was out. So this is again a very important parameters which doctors use for parameters. In addition to these two, what you see, you also get what is called as footfalls. These are footfalls, and the center one, what you see is how your center of pressure moves when you walk. That's something that is shown there. Okay, and the importance of this footfall is how your foot impact is. It gives you in color. It indicates where you put your foot. So it gives an immediate understanding for say how is where he is putting too much pressure, you get on footfalls. And it can also give you comparisons with normative data, and give you how close you are with the normative data and how your comparison has been pre-surgery, post-surgery. All these important parameters are also given. So this is what is also shown. And the last one, it also shows the timing of your heel contact to the toe contact. So it gives you your temporal which is very clearly defined, which is again very important topics. So
demonstration of the gate-like portable gait analysis system brought to you in the UK by EMS Physio Limited. The gait light is a quick and easy solution for collecting temporal and spatial gait parameters from a patient as they walk along the sensor carpet. As you can see here, the system is fully portable. It needs no calibration and can be rolled out anywhere there is a suitable flat surface. The gate light is easily set up and tests can be carried out in no time, with no attachment to the patient required. As the patient walks along the walkway, the system quickly captures the geometry and relative position of each footfall as a function of time, and the data collected can then be saved and easily generated reports can be produced to track progress. The data can also be supported by video. This can be easily synchronized with the gait data and reviewed in the replay screen. The GateRight portable gait analysis system from EMS Physio.
So that's about how quickly you can set up the system for you to get your gait parameters. And coming to the last of the gait topics that we're going to cover today, it's going to be on motion capture. We did start about it earlier by showing a video about how it can be used in entertainment. But more so it is, I need to probably tell you for the understanding that we are going to talk a little bit about biomechanics. As you all know, it's a study of human movement and forces that acts upon in both internal and external during motion and when stationary. So you are looking at how the human movement forces act on human movements, both internal and external, when stationary or when in motion. So this is what is biomechanics. This is a very, very important topic basically because this is fast catching up. People are talking of biomechanics in a big scale, and this can be used in multiple applications. Okay, it helps to identify the best technique and perform an action. This is divided into two topics: kinetics and kinematics. Kinetics is the forces that produce motion. Examples are muscles and gravity. Okay. Kinematics is the description of the motion, in which direction, what is the plane of the movement, what is the location, etc. is what gives you kinematics. In our musculoskeletal system, half the body weight, what you see is muscles, right? There are more than 640 muscles in the body. The action of a muscle is to pull, but it will never push. It's only pulling. Most muscles are arranged in opposing teams, agnostic or antagonistic. As each team pulls, the other one relaxes. So that's how the muscular system, skeletal system works. Whereas the skeletal system, it protects vital organs, it provides a shape to the body, and it allows us to move our muscles that are attached to the body. When our muscles move, our bones also would move. So this is the musculoskeletal system that we are talking of. These are the number of bones that we have in the body. 21 skull and upper jaw, 3 tiny. So this is the description. Totally we have in all 206 bones. So with this, we are talking about what are the branches that you have. You have cardiovascular and respiratory biomechanics. Then we have injury biomechanics, orthopedics biomechanics, rehabilitation biomechanics, cellular biomechanics, sports biomechanics, and musculoskeletal biomechanics. So these are the broad definitions of branches of biomechanics that one can look at. So what are the goals that you're trying to do here? You're trying to look at the performance improvement. You're looking at the technique, how the technique of it could be a bowler, it could be a tennis player, it could be a football player, it could be a running athlete. So you're looking at how to improve this technique. Looking at the equipment improvement. Training, when you are looking at somebody being trained. Injury prevention, it could be post, or you're looking at is not doing the right kind of bowling action, or is not serving properly, or is not running properly. You're trying to tell him or correct his methods of doing all this. And of course, you're also looking at equipment design sometimes, how to have the equipment properly designed.
With every breath, a little more air. With every step, a stronger stride. With every push, the finish line gets that much closer. But every run also means pounding on your joints and impact on your knees, over and over.
Running can sometimes result in knee injuries, and even if you don't have a diagnosed injury, it's possible you feel some kind of pain in your knee when you run. And that's where all this high-tech equipment comes in.
Our research and this technology is really geared towards the everyday runner, but it's still going to be applicable for the elite runner, and the runner who just wants to start. They're trying to run their first 5K or their first marathon.
It's called the 3D gait analysis, and these cameras and little sensors give physiotherapists a much more precise look at how your body moves when you run. And that means a much more precise analysis of what's causing that nagging knee pain.
The cameras that we're setting up here are actually going to look at exactly how your foot, your knee, and your hip move. And that might give us a lot of clues as to why that particular knee injury is there.
The technology is used in only 5 cities in North America. And according to these guys, it takes a lot of the guesswork out of diagnosing the problem.
What we can see and sense versus what the computer can see and sense is not the same. It's really quite sophisticated in what that's able to show us.
This is the most sophisticated assessment tool available in the world in terms of walking and running patterns.
Ferber says after studying knee injuries at the University of Calgary for several years, he's discovered that 50% of runners get injured every year, and 50% of those runners will have a knee injury. But he says it rarely has anything to do with the knee itself.
Our research and other people's research has shown that it's actually a problem from the hip down. So almost 80% of runners who are injured will demonstrate some type of hip muscle weakness that translates to an inability to control your leg while you're running.
And that hit pretty close to home. I've had knee pain for a few years and was told it was likely because of weak hip and leg muscles. So I thought I'd give it a try. And after the sensors and cameras collect all the information, the computer spits out a report.
So again, your ankle's doing great, 72. Your knee's doing quite well, 67. It's all in your hip. You know, that's one of your lowest scores.
So for about $200, you too can get this report. Then take it to your physiotherapist, who will be able to tell you what exactly is wrong and design a program specific to your injury. Unfortunately, MSP doesn't cover this, but if you have an employer who covers physiotherapy, you're in luck. And the winners in all of this?
We can reduce 5% of running injuries to 45% of all runners every year. We're going to save the Canadian healthcare system $1 billion a year.
So if you have a big, clunky knee brace like me and you never want to see it again, this new technology just might be the ticket. And the first clinic in BC to provide this service is now open in the West Shore. In Victoria, I'm Nikki Iwanishin, your community news specialist.
Boy, what's this about running? Is there anything better than this? Yes, of course. It can also, this is what is motion capture we're talking about. So what does motion capture do? It basically captures recording motion of humans, it could be animals, it could on 3D. These cameras that you see are called optical cameras, which we'll be talking about. These cameras are high-speed cameras. This can go up to 2000 frames per second. Movies like Gravity, movies like Avatar, all these movies use such cameras, and including areas where we are looking at is in sports medicine that we're talking about, and it's used in with Cristiano Ronaldo to say how good or bad his football technique is. We all know it's good, but if there is anything that he can improve, it's done using that. And of course, it can also be used in other areas where, just to
Hello, welcome to the College University Motion Capture Lab for Biomechanics. My name's Joe Chipper. In this lab, we've got a 12-camera motion capture system.
All 12 cameras are mounted on a rail near the top of the room. Each camera is high resolution and can operate at frequencies up to 1000 frames per second.
Embedded in the floor, we've got two ANTI force plates, which are used to measure ground reaction forces.
These force plates can be thought of as very accurate bathroom scales, but unlike bathroom scales, they also measure the forces in the plane of the floor as well as normal to the floor. We use this laboratory to measure how people move and the forces acting upon them. The process starts by attaching about 40 retroflective markers all over the subject's body. These are seen as small white dots in the photograph. Within this lab, we can measure the movement of those markers better than about plus or minus 1 millimetre. We then ask the subject to undertake the motion that we want to measure in 3 dimensions. The cameras don't actually see the subject at all. All they see are the markers that are attached to the subject. They're not actually photographing the image, they're actually measuring the locations of those markers. Those markers are shown in this animation as little yellow dots that have been connected